Welcome back to another Roblox video. In this video, I'm going to be looking at the next two vehicles for the 5 days, 5 vehicles thing. I'm not entirely confident with that name. Yeah, still not sure if that's actually the right one. In this video, I'll be including the second vehicle and the third vehicle. If you want to see the first one, I already have a video on that, which I will link up here, maybe, if I remember. Hopefully I'll remember, should remember. So the first vehicle is not a new vehicle, it is just a modification to a previous vehicle. So it's the fire truck, which, let's bring it out here unmodified. So the fire truck, I don't really use it much, so I can't really tell what's changed. Although I do know that the ladder has changed. So before, it would just suddenly ping up. Also, okay, there are different levels now. When it went up like this, I was like, that's not anywhere near as high as it could go before, but I think this is closer to before, and once you get it the whole way up here, I think that is a bit higher than the previous ladder. Can't really tell the difference in the vehicle, so I'll just give the information. I mean, it's got 6 seats if you include the driver one. One thing I do know has changed is the water hose. It is a lot more realistic. Before, it's like a bad quality animation, but now it's a bit more realistic and better. The fire truck is actually quite a fast vehicle, especially for how big it is compared to something like the ambulance. It does have a very long time to get to its top speed. It's got very slow acceleration. It can get to 256 miles per hour, but I mean, we've been driving quite a bit here and it's only at 160, so yeah, you can see it will take a long time with a fire truck to get to its top speed, but even at this speed, it's quite a fast vehicle, so as a vehicle, I'd say it's okay, but I personally wouldn't use it because there are better vehicles with more acceleration, and I think in a lot of cases acceleration is a lot more useful than top speed. I mean, if you have a top speed of 256 and most of the time you end up being on 160, it's sort of pointless. I mean, there's not going to be a situation in the game that you're probably going to end up getting to that 256. I mean, even if you're trying to race over to the power plant super fast or something, you're not going to reach that top speed. So I don't feel like it's very effective even with that high top speed. I think it's sort of a special feature vehicle that isn't very useful. It's not a very practical vehicle. Now we're going to go and have a look at the totally new vehicle, which spawns over here in the new-ish area. I mean, it's been out a while now, but the newer area here, it costs 229,000. I haven't bought it yet, as you can see, so let's buy it. It's called the Desert Crawler. So as you can see, it's got this area on it, and that's because it was a design for the toy season thing. Don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was quite popular and didn't end up getting chosen, so they've now brought it out and it still has that area. So it's got 2 seats and is mainly intended for off-road. I obviously haven't tested it at all, but it can do very sharp turns. Oh, and the off-road's quite good, as we could see there. I mean, it managed to bounce up that steep slope quite well. I wonder how easily it can pull itself up some sort of slope, a bit like the Trailblaze. The Trailblaze is the best at that. Ooh, this is quite good for that. I mean, this is still the default level 1 engine and it can do it, but I mean, it's not doing it very fast. The Trailblaze would like throw itself up there really quickly, but it is cheaper and it's still on a level 1 engine. So let's get it leveled up. Okay, so it's still not as good as something like the Trailblaze. I mean, it can do it, but it hasn't got a really high amount of power. So how easily can it go over bumps without getting like bounced around and flying up into the air? Okay, quite good. Yeah, it's quite good for that. That's quite useful. The turns are very sharp and it's very maneuverable, so that might be quite useful if I try and drive around in the city. It seems to be getting to a very high top speed now. Let's say we're going along here and then we're coming to this corner and we need to turn. Yeah, I mean, it can't do it completely, but it can do it a lot better than a lot of vehicles. I mean, it could do that turn. When it's at quite a fast speed, it doesn't have as good turning, but I mean, if you're at slower speeds, it can do really sharp, tight turns. So yeah, that's quite good. Let's actually test the top speed. I mean, I'm just going to where I want to start my test currently, and I'm at 200 miles per hour. Yeah, it's quite easy to control this vehicle in a way. Its reverse speed's not very good. I mean, it's okay, but it's quite a bit less than its forward speed. Okay, this is quite a good run. 220. 200, yeah, okay, it didn't seem to go up at all at 220, so I'm gonna say the top speed is 220 miles per hour. I think for the price range it's in, it's quite a good vehicle, but the top speed is just so much higher than what you would reasonably get to. It just doesn't seem like the best vehicle. I would rather not spend quite so much and save my money for then getting a better vehicle, or just go straight for that better vehicle. I feel like this is not the best option. It's sort of in between. The sharp turns are quite useful, so in that way it's good, and the off-road is quite good, but I wouldn't really say it's the best at anything. It's not the best at off-road, it's not the best at speed, but for the price, I'd say it does it all quite well. So that's sort of my opinion of this. I think it's a cool vehicle, but not the best one to use. I think there are better options at higher and lower prices. In the middle here, it's the best vehicle, but I wouldn't go for this price. Oh, there is one other thing. The trading area has changed a bit. You know, the fastest way over there is not in a land vehicle like this. It's in the new jet. The jet is such a good way to get somewhere really fast now. Okay, so let's hop over to the trading area. I know you can somehow get air vehicles, so maybe you can just spawn them in the garage. Oh, yeah, you just spawn them in the garages over here. But let's get out a Black Hawk, which, yeah, does sort of glitch in here. Is there any alternative garage spot for vehicles? Hang on, I am stuck in a wall. Okay, I've managed to get myself out the wall now by killing myself. Oh my gosh, I'm back in the wall. There's only really the little bird able to spawn in there and come out. Hang on, have we got one here? Helipad? Yes! Okay. It's quite a bit to walk up, but okay, we've got a helipad. So there have been some changes visually to this map. I mean, I don't really come here often. This will have changed a bit at least. Because there was no helicopters being spawned in here before. So now that I've finally achieved my goal of getting a Black Hawk in this area, and it was actually way simpler than I thought it was going to be, I think that's going to end today's video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. Bye!